Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would talk about the different types of games that I like to play, so general gaming genres. And I think it's important to also discuss here that your tastes in games change dramatically as you get older and as you go through life. You know, from when I was a kid up to now, the amount of time that I have for gaming, the types of games that I like to play have changed. Right? When I was a kid, it was very focused, very narrow, and when I got older, they changed and evolved. And I thought I'd talk a little bit about that. And I'll start off first saying I'm a what I call a gaming enthusiast. Right? I like almost every type of genre of game out there, and I'll try almost any game. Um, I love tactical RPGs. I love action RPGs. I like RPGs in general. I like shooters. I like adventure games. I like platformers, simulations, life sims. You know, I'm very, very diverse in the amount of types of gaming content that I will play. However, it wasn't always the case. When I was a little younger, much younger, just starting out in the gaming field, I pretty much exclusively played generally platformers. Things like Mario 64, Donkey Kong 64. I had wonderful times there. Um, Beautiful worlds, really immersed, got really into that. I also was a very, very big um, fighter. Like to play fighting games. For example, Pokemon Stadium. You could argue that could also technically might possibly be a little bit RPG-ish. Not really. You know, you got your. It depends if you had the cartridge and you had the slot to put into the controller and you could transfer Pokemon, but it was more of a battle simulation there. Smash, right? Big player of Smash Brothers. Always have been. Still really big into Smash Brothers. Um, so those were the two I really focused on. I did have a couple of games when I was younger, just starting out, like Zelda. Um, the first game I played was Zelda Ocarina of Time. And so that's more of an adventure action game. And I sort of got halfway through it. Didn't I've never finished it. Um, I still haven't finished it. I always get almost there, and then something comes up, and then I never get back to it. So I'm gonna finish Zelda Ocarina of Time some point because it's a fantastic game. I have a lot of nostalgia for it. Having said that, those were the types of games that I played. So generally fighters and um, action games, and especially platformers. I was very big into platformers. And as I developed and moved into things like moving from the N64 and the Game Boy, moving on into the GameCube, I kind of opened up a little bit. I started to get into this idea of Pokemon and the sort of RPG grindy kind of feel, and that was a lot of fun. I honestly, to this day, I'm a huge Pokemon fan. Back when I was in grade one, I was really big into Pokemon, and that's when it first started. And it came to Canada, at least. It was airing on YTV, and I was very excited. And um, a lot of memories. I might talk about that another time, in a separate video, just on Pokemon because it was a lot of fun. And then my tastes evolved a little bit. I still like platformers. I spent a whole summer diving into and consuming at alarming rates Sonic Adventure to Battle, and it was addictive. I loved it. It's a platformer mainly, a little bit of a shooter if you're Doctor Eggman and or Tails, but I was consumed by this game, and I lost my mind, especially with the Chow Garden. I had to have every single Chow. I had to unlock all the different types, the different shinies and colors. I was obsessed with them. And literally a whole summer was just that. And it was a great summer looking back now. I mean, I couldn't think of a better summer than that. But then also during the GameCube era, I kind of got exposed to this new IP called Animal Crossing, which took me by complete surprise, and I bought it on a whim, thinking maybe I would enjoy it. I mean, I was working part time, so I spent some of my money to get this new game, and I was not disappointed. It consumed me, and it just didn't consume me; it consumed my two sisters. And we all would huddle in my room, which was in the basement, and like taking turns playing this game and switching between characters and being obsessed to pay off our mortgage and our loan to Tom Nook, and we had to just play that. And that was another almost summer where we did nothing but that. And so that kind of got me this idea of life simulators and playing, simulation games. And that actually then led me to this whole thing of The Sims, right? The Sims series. I was there from Sims. I was on the GameCube as well as the PC. Sims 2, Sims 3, Sims 4. I mean, I might talk about The Sims another time in the series and my thoughts on them. And I generally like The Sims quite a bit, and it can be very addicting. Anybody who's played those types of games, addicting. Even now, as I'm speaking and this video is being uploaded, we have Animal Crossing New Horizons. There's a lot of backlash. A lot of people don't like it. I'm a big fan. I've had a lot of fun. I've been playing it about maybe 15 hours in. I love it. It's a lot of fun. Easy to pick up and play when you want to have some time just to, fiddle around with it. I don't know what the big deal is, but I've enjoyed my time. The next type of games that I kind of got interested in also during my teenage years was RPGs. That's where I got introduced to them. Things like Dragon Age. That was really fun. Really immersive. Things like Final Fantasy. Another excellent RPG. I've actually never completed a Final Fantasy game, and that's a shame. I know I shouldn't admit that, but I have never completed one. But I've watched my friend, my best friend actually, who I still see often, and we're in communication a lot. He played a lot of those Final Fantasies, and I watched him play them, so I felt like I was a part of it and helped make decisions and things. So I felt like I've played it and finished it. But I myself have never finished one. It's on my to-do list. And if you have any, where I should start in the series, please feel free to comment. Let me know, where do you think I should start with Final Fantasy? I've always wanted to play myself and go through the story myself. Mass Effect, another one, and that opened the door. It's an RPG, but also a first-person shooter in some areas, and that kind of opened the door to this first-person shooters for me. And I got really enjoying that, and then opened up Far Cry for me, and I was moving into Far Cry, and I tried things like Call of Duty. I'm not great at first-person shooters. I'm terrible at first-person shooters, but I do enjoy them, right? Like I'm right now playing Far Cry 5, and I'm not very far in it, maybe like 5 hours in. It's difficult to play these types of games when you have a daughter and you don't want to be showing violence. And that, but anyways, so I sort of evolved from there. Then when I got into my young adult years, so going into the end of high school, going into university, I became very obsessed with tactical games. So games that had strategy. A good example is the Civilization series. I started at Civilization 4, and I put in 400 hours into that game, and I just loved it. It was a fantastic game. Even now, with the newest Civilization series, which is Civilization 6, Between myself and my wife, who's also obsessed with Civilization, together, because we played often together, we have put in 500 hours. And me, myself, if you include just me playing, I've probably put about 600 hours into that. It's crazy. And I love Civ, and I love those types of strategy games. I'm also, in terms of tactical-based RPGs, again, that's Final Fantasy as well. And the earlier ones were tactical RPG. I remember my friend playing that. But, even Divinity Original Sin, another tactical RPG. Very fun. Then it comes to where I am now. And now I'm very, very interested in, again, all of them, all different types of gaming genres, and I just enjoy playing games in general. I still have a propensity for playing fighting games. I do enjoy them. Street Fighter is a really good one. Some of the Dragon Ball Z fighting ones are fun. Injustice, God Among Us. Oh, a lot of great games. Of course, Smash is up there. And I actually was even playing it this morning. Pick it up for 10 minutes, play a couple rounds. I love it. It's a lot of fun. I'm also very, very, very interested in RPGs. I love RPGs. And that's been something that I've continued a lot. I still have that deep love. Action and games, I thoroughly enjoy. The whole Uncharted series. Wonderful. Platformers, I find that I don't know if I'm getting worse at platformers, or I don't know if my dexterity is off, but I've been trying to get through Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy, and I freaking can't get anywhere at all. It's so hard. It's unbelievable. I don't know if I've just lost the skill or what, but anyways, I'm still trying to get through that. I'm on the third island now, but man, in the first game, the first game, so it's definitely much more challenging than I remember. But yeah, so yeah, I thought I'd just talk a little bit about that and the different types of games that I've been interested in and how it's evolved over time. And the other thing too is that when your life changes, I'm now, even though I love RPGs, I don't have the time that I used to have when I was a kid. I have a family, I have a job, I can't spend over 100+ hours playing some of these games. I don't have the time, so I like games that are much shorter. And a good game that's a good length for me would probably be anything that's about 40 hours and less. Anything more than that, then it becomes way too much. However, I'm still interested in playing RPGs. You get some time, like now, for example, we're all under quarantines and unable to go anywhere. Great time to play an RPG. And I've been revisiting back two RPGs I'm currently playing. And that is a Digimon game, which is the cybersecurity one, and then the other one that I'm playing is Dragon Age Inquisition, and that's a really good RPG as well. So with that, please feel free, tell me what types of gaming genres do you like to play? What games do you do? What are you playing currently? Let me know. Where should I start with the Final Fantasy series? So with that, I wish you all an excellent gaming time. I hope you all are doing well, staying safe, and above all, thank you for watching. Take care.